All right, we're back for another episode of From Suck to SuS. As you can see, I have officially unlocked my Super Scroll, first time through DD6 complete. Now I'm working on my second time around, but today we are going to talk specifically about the Cosmic section of DD6, and we are going to see who I brought in, if they worked, why they worked, who I would change in place of, things like that. All right, so for the second round of DD6, you obviously want to bring in Super Skrull if you can. Currently, I don't have enough pieces to take him to gear tier 18, but look, I'm just one piece short. So hopefully by the time I'm in Cosmic nodes, I'll have Super Skrull, bring him in and rock and roll. But before then, let's look at your first run. That's what's important right now. That's what I can talk about and speak on. So in my roster on msf.com, you can see here, this was the Cosmic team I brought into play, the Cosmic nodes. Kang, I feel, is fairly important. Vol, probably essential. The other three are kind of up for grabs. I took in Kestrel because Kestrel just recently got a rework, power increase. She does all kinds of sweet damage on the board. Her pings are a destructive force of nature. The other two characters I brought in were Photon and Deathpool. So obviously, Deathpool wasn't my first choice, but I was kind of going back and forth between a lot of characters, and it ended up Deathpool was the amount of materials I had at the time to bring up into Cosmic. Deathpool did okay. Unfortunately, Deathpool needs 5 charges to just delete somebody off the board, but when you get those 5 charges, it's very handy. Unfortunately, Deathpool doesn't get those charges very fast outside of Cosmic Crucible. So you are waiting a long time on Deathpool to actually really perform well. That said, she spreads debuffs. She can clear her own debuffs. She has a little bit of self-healing. She does okay. And with Vol there being able to revive characters throughout the battles, you can get some use out of Deathpool. I didn't find Cosmic as hard as a lot of people have said. A lot of people I've heard in many videos on Twitch, everywhere, YouTube, that Cosmic is one of the most difficult sections in this Dark Dimension. And it is tricky, absolutely, but I didn't find it too hard. I think I did. Here's the problem. Now that I'm through Dark Dimension, I can't actually see how many attacks each section took for me because I'm already in the new sections here. I'm already on my second run. So I can't see how many attacks each section took, but I am fairly certain I 3-shot, so it took 3 attacks on the first node, 3 attacks on the second node, and 4 attacks on the third node. Now, I've heard people get trapped behind one of these nodes for days and days and days, 9, 13, 14 attacks. If you're run 7, you're still in Cosmic nodes, and you'll never be done. Unfortunately, don't be run 7 because he'll be in Cosmic forever. But that said, I didn't find it too tricky. If I were to change anything, and I probably would, a lot of people did not bring Quicksilver in on Global because he's very expensive. And I feel that's okay, especially now with a new mutant team coming out, a new raid team. Those extreme X-Men are probably going to be mostly global tunes. And you might be able to get away with not bringing Quicksilver and saving some Mystic Gear. And then if that's the case, you might have a little extra Mystic Gear to bring in maybe Dormammu. He's super expensive, but let me tell you, having everybody with a revive plus Vol being able to revive people again and again, that would make Cosmic very easy. The other option you could go is skipping out on Dormammu and bringing in Icarus and SuS. They are still powerhouses. They still hit hard, and together they're such a great team. And their kits actually shout out to Dark Dimension. They actually do a little bit extra in Dark Dimension itself. So that would be the way I would tackle this if I had a choice, as long as you can balance that Mystic gear. Unfortunately, in Marvel Strike Force, there are two things that will always be for certain. There will always be a high need and demand for Mystic gear, and there will always be a high need and demand for mutant gear. Marvel loves its mutants. People love the mutant characters. So Marvel Strike Force is always going to be piling on mutant characters for us to blow our mutant gear on. So whenever you're farming for gear, always buy the mutant gear you see in stores. Always buy the Mystic gear you see in stores, because you will always have a use for it. And it's no different in Dark Dimension 6. Apocalypse, high mutant price. New X-Men coming in. Nightcrawler is just released into the game. He's very good. High mutant gear cost. Vol, high cost for Mystic. Dorm, high cost for Mystic. Now doubling down on Dormammu for DD6. Dormammu is now going to have the Mythic tag for DD7. And there is its own section in DD7 for Mythics. So you may as well bring him into DD6, because you're going to probably need him for DD7 anyway. So you might as well make Cosmic nodes easy for you by waiting a few extra days to gear up Dormammu. That would be my recommendation. Aside from that, Kestrel does well. Photon is okay. She's got AoE blind, so she can blind multiple characters, and she hits fairly hard, but she is fairly squishy. Again, though, if you have Dormammu and Vol, you will be able to revive her over and over again, and she'll just be able to do work for you. So I feel the team I brought in was good. I didn't seem to have as many problems as most people did in the Cosmic section, but you can improve upon it. And then obviously for the second round, if you've got Dormammu, Kang, and Vol, and Kestrel, that is 2 villains, 2 heroes. You can just swap Photon out for Super Skrull, and you will probably one-shot all of those nodes, no problem. That's my recommendation for Cosmic. That's where I'm at. The nodes themselves, I can see here with the characters, the first node wasn't too bad. Thanos is kind of a pain just because, he taunts up. He's got a pretty good health pool, and he's just annoying. But the real people you need to worry about, obviously, are the Doom characters in here. Doom, you need to control him or things go off the rails. That was the worst part for that. If you can control the Thanos and the Dooms, you're pretty much okay for the first node. Second node, it's a little trickier on who to target, because it's got a lot of fast characters, speed up from the Black Widows, AoE and stun from Wasp, then Ant-Man. They're very good. All these characters are very good when their stats are just amped up to the 9, but you always want to control the Sam because of his AoE that speeds up his team. So you want to take him out, and plus whenever any character has a taunt up, it's very annoying. So you want to control them on this node. The Captain Sam's the most, I think. And then I'd say the Black Widows and anybody who might taunt or heal, Maria Hills, right? Those are kind of your prime targets when they come into the map. But again, it's all about just controlling and saving up those alts for new waves, things like that. Final node is, I think, the most tricky. Obviously, you've got a few prime targets here. Doctor Strange, if he alts, it's pretty much game over. Wong, if he taunts, it's a huge hassle to get past him. Omega Red with multiple ability blocks is bad news. Also, even the Samurais are super annoying with their stuns and taunt. So there's lots of trouble with the third node. Then we bring in Red Hulk and Apocalypse. This one just takes time. Last wave, I think, has the MLF. It's just a matter of making sure as soon as one of these big targets comes down, like a Red Hulk or Apocalypse, you take care of them as fast as possible. Because if you get multiple of these characters on the board at the same time, you're really going to put yourself into a bind. So that's my advice for those. Please, again, let me know in the comments If I'm missing anything, if you found characters that are even better, I just took in what I could take in, again, trying to balance my materials. Overall, you always want to try to balance your materials here, but you're going to farm them about equally throughout. So yeah, comment below if you enjoyed this video, or if I missed anything, or if you think I'm way out to lunch. I would love a chance to discourse about it and find a proper solution so that we can give the best advice possible for those just getting into Dark Dimension 6. Next video, we will tackle the city nodes. I've got a little bit to say about the city nodes. Spoiler alert, I one-shot all 3 of the nodes, almost. So come on back for the next video. Until then, keep it clean, and we'll check you next time. We're back for another episode of Suck to Sus? From Suck to Sus. We're back with another episode from SuS to... Nope. We're back for another episode of...